Greetings everyone and welcome to Citizens Corner. I am Jarvis. With me as always is my guru of all answers, Lightning Dragon. It's been a little while since we've done one of these. Just have a couple questions here I want to go over real quick, and let's get to it. First question I have is from Rakasha. A big part of piracy is boarding, allowing players to capture a ship without completely destroying it. Do you think CIG has taken this into account when designing ships like the Idris? I think to some degree. And one of the things you notice in a lot of the ships, and I've seen a lot of people comment on the forums, is how wide the hallways are, how tall the ceilings are. Now, it's a lot of wasted space, but there's a partial reason for this I can see twofold. One, first of all, for Squadron 42, the Vanduul are very tall. So if they made the corridors human size, I have to make sure the Vanduul like walked on all fours, because they'd have to crouch the entire ship. And I don't think they want to kind of figure out that dynamic. But they've also set up like a lot of the hallways. When you look at pictures, there's like places where you could take cover. There's like, you know, there's support beams. There's things sticking out. It seems to me that they've taken a lot of ideas of basically taking like think of like the scene from Star Wars where they're in the prison bay and they're like leaning back on the wall, and they're you know, the stormtroopers are shooting down, and they're taking cover behind those pillars, that kind of thing. Because I probably shouldn't play that footage either, because, you know, Lucas, you know, because the whole
Disney.
Yeah, oh yeah, don't touch Disney with a 10-foot pole. But basically, you know the scene. And so yeah, I think
in the Corellian Cruiser as well. Blockade Runner.
That's true. So I think they are taken into consideration. The big concern is right now, as you know, when it comes to ships, everything just kind of explodes. And they need to have things get disabled and tumble out of control and all that. They need to have these ships just end up being dead in space. That's the first step. Step 2 is, well, smooth transitions between physics grids, you know, just in the EVA side of it. And 3, hopefully, if they ever get up and running correctly, coupling, because that's an important factor as well. Hooking up to another ship, tracked beaming them, locking them down, dropping it through the airlock, things like that. So there's a lot of mechanics on that I think are going to take some time to develop, and I wouldn't expect them to become fully available till sometime after launch. It's going to take some work.
And I disagree with you, because all the ships to me looked like they were designed by level editors. And they've even said this. When they were taking the approach of the large ships, they had to think of them as a level, because they're just so big, you couldn't think of them as ships anymore. Why are the hallways and corridors big? Because they're not thinking of it as a ship.
So you don't disagree with me at all?
I don't think that the hallways are big in regards for having Vanduul in them. I think they're.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was part of the reason. That was part of the reason, because they want firefights in the hallways.
I maybe. I mean, because they're thinking of it as a level, not a ship. But I don't think they're building cover in mind when they make these things. I think they're purely aesthetic.
Yeah, you might be right. Either way, it would work as cover.
Yeah, I mean, fundamentally, you know, if it works as cover, then it is cover. But I don't think that was the we're gonna have a nice little support beam here. Why are you gonna put a support beam there? Well, because we want to take into the aesthetic of the ship, and make it look nice. Oh no, actually, I just want cover. No, I don't think it's built like an FPS level.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, because that is pretty much the way they described the Starfarer.
The Starfarer?
Yeah, the Starfarer. When they said they described it as when they talked about how big it was in size, like, yeah, it's like a big FPS level or something like that.
It's a small FPS level.
Or a small FPS level or something.
And a terrible one at that.
Yeah, you get lost.
Which I don't know when these episodes are coming out, but you'll hear about that sooner or later.
Oh yeah.
Or you already have.
You already have, guaranteed. All right, and a question from Hippie in the Woods. What do you guys think about the Crytek lawsuit? I don't want something to happen to Star Citizen now that I've decided I'm playing it. Well, Leonard French put out another video, and I watched it. It was about an hour 20, about Crytek's rebuttal to Star Citizen's rebuttal. And from what he said, it doesn't look like Crytek has a very strong case. Now, if they do have anything, it'll be damages, and it won't even be that big. From what he was talking about, he said he doesn't even see, like, part of their complaint is copyright infringement. But looking at the way that they worded it and everything, and he's a lawyer, so I take his word on it more than, obviously than any other layman. But he said it doesn't look like there is a copyright violation at all. So that would be the one thing that would hold up the development, really. And everything else is just damages, if there's anything there at all. So no, it'll be fine. I think that they may even have damages incurred to CIG. So my whole thing may be a wash. Just pay the lawyers and go home. So we'll see what happens with it. But no, I wouldn't worry about it. All right, and lastly, I'm just gonna have to read this one here. TTMR 1986. He had a question here about the our triple cross at the Javelin wreckage video. Was that the primary buffer panel? And there's only one way to answer that.
This is the captain. We have a little problem with our entry sequence, so we may experience some slight turbulence and then explode.
Of course, that's what I get for flying a Cutlass into the atmosphere anyway, so. All right, guys. Well,
don't you know that you're only supposed to fly the Dragonflies through the atmosphere now?
That's true. That's what it's made for. That's what it was built for.
It was purpose-built for re-entry in atmosphere.
All right, guys. Well, that's everything for Citizens Corner. As always, leave comments down below. And we will catch you on the next one, whenever that one is.
Oh, I like the other one better. The other outro. You'll never hear it.
As always, feel free to leave questions, and if we find them interesting, we will get them into the...
Well, that's an excellent outro.
It is.